Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney.
Yeah. So if you've been following along or if you've been following the news, you've probably heard about the wrongful death lawsuit that Disney was facing involving the person who had a food allergy and allergic reaction at Raglan Road in Disney Springs.
Yes.
Then Disney thought it was really, really wise to turn around and set their lawyers after her husband, who was filing the suit, saying that they should be forced to arbitration because he once upon a time, years ago, did a free trial of Disney Plus, and when he did, he agreed to their terms of service, which somehow means that no matter whatever happens ever involving Disney, you have to go to arbitration.
Yeah, that was really stupid. Whoever decided they were going to do that at Disney Legal, that was incredibly dumb because the general public probably would have sided with Disney. They would have said, well, hey, Disney's just, renting this space to this restaurant because it's not owned by Disney. Raglan Road's not owned by Disney. So it'd be like, hey, they have insurance for that. Disney's renting the property. They're no more responsible for it than if somebody gets sick at a McDonald's in a shopping mall or something, right? But Disney's lawyers had to play that card. And now the general public is like, oh my God, if I sign up for Disney Plus, literally anything I can think of that, to sue Disney for, I can't do it. If I get hurt in a theme park, I can't sue them.
Which is interesting because they didn't use this forced arbitration for other lawsuits for other people, just this one, which, Anyway, so all that aside, to make matters worse, there's a show at Disneyland I think it's in their Marvel area. Anyway, it's called like Storytime with Deadpool.
Yes.
And, which is one weird that they have Deadpool in the family theme park to begin with, because he's not really.
It is very weird.
I mean, as a parent, it's not one you want your little kids, a character you want your little kids to be like, I want to watch Deadpool, But beyond that, that aside, they had to do a story time with Deadpool, and when they did the story time with Deadpool, they make a joke about the situation.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch and react to that, and then we're gonna, I think, discuss that situation and whether or not it's appropriate to have an R-rated character in a family theme park. But what can we say? We're 80s kids, and like every R-rated movie had a toy line and a cartoon.
Truth.
So
before we get into it any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
All right, so go ahead and lead.
So this person, I'm trying to remember the account's name. It's Goth Girl Does Disney on TikTok.
Goth Girl Does Disney.
I can't say anything because my account on Instagram was Geeky Does Disney, so I can't say much. But well, it was intentional. I picked that name for a reason. But this they put a video up. We were watching the show. It was going to be Cinderpool. It's one of the stories they do. And during this show, there was a joke made about Disney Plus that was kind of inappropriate. So here we're gonna watch it on here. So go ahead and put your headset on.
Okay, I'm putting my headset on.
And headed to the big battle. Cinderpool was late because he had to read every single page in the terms and conditions when he signed up for Disney Plus.
Yeah, but the crowd's kind of like,
I don't get it. Yeah, they do. It's fun.
So yeah, they made the joke, which it's kind of like it's first of all, it's weird they have Deadpool. I mean, I get it. Okay, you can make Deadpool be in the park because he's not doing anything inappropriate,
right?
But now he's making jokes about the lawsuit with the Disney terms of service where someone died and they tried to use that as an excuse to arbitrate. Which people are going to be like, what the hell? Some of the comments on this, though, are beautiful. This was Discussing Film posted it.
The Deadpool actor heading backstage after this performance. If you know, you know. Backstage, Nikki kicking the crap out of him. I like that the guise of Deadpool gives you the ability to shit on anything. Now, to be fair, if they're staying in character, Deadpool shit on Disney in the movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. The Deadpool making the joke in the film, 100%. He would totally do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Deadpool making the joke in the theme park is completely different, I think. I think there's a different standard there that you would expect. I don't think Disney's... I mean, I'm assuming that I would hope someone approved the script.
I don't know. They might have told him just to ad lib. I don't know. I think it's
funny, but I mean, I see it or it's funny. I don't think it's appropriate for the theme park.
So here's the thing too. Like, Not everybody at Disney, I know this is hard to believe. I know it's really hard to believe, but having been around these people for a number of years, not everybody who works for Disney agrees with the things that Disney corporate does. And even at Disney corporate, not everybody at Disney corporate agrees with Disney legal or a Disney Imagineering or Disney finance or any of the other Disneys. It's a many-headed beast.
It is. But whoever wrote this is probably going to get in trouble because it really wasn't appropriate for the theme park. I can see it in the movie, but even then, given the situation, I don't think Ryan Reynolds would even maybe gone that far, given the situation that someone's dead. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a joke.
Well, here's a question. Here's a question for you. So all those wrongful termination cases that Disney is finding themselves in, can you argue that Gina Carano can't sue Disney because not only was she probably a Disney Plus subscriber, but she was on a Disney Plus show. Is she
but they're not using that argument against anybody else.
Like if that
they're
was
only using it in this one instance.
If that was the catch-all, right? Then it'd be like nobody can sue us for anything. Oh, Scarlett Johansson, yeah, you can't sue us because you had Disney Plus.
We've seen many lawsuits involving different Disney parks, and like that one woman was injured, at one of the Disney water parks, and then we have, different people that are suing over like Magic Key or whatever. And if you ever agreed to terms of service at anything Disney on Disney Plus from 2019, or using their app for the parks, any of that should have made that you could only go to arbitration. And a lot of those cases were, they weren't being dismissed for that reason. So it seems like they just pulled this card out of their ass for this one.
That's probably a DEI lawyer.
No, I don't think so.
Like barely trained, barely.
No, I don't.
It's the dumbest excuse ever. Like this is not going to hold. This is not going to hold any water. And to even put that out there, you have actually whoever Skippy was who put this out there, you actually have damaged yourselves more than this lawsuit. I mean, people get sick and die, unfortunately, in restaurants all the time. It's not the landlord's fault, right? Landlord didn't prepare the meal. Landlord just leases a space. It's up to the restaurant. That's why you have insurance for this sort of thing. It was probably just one or two incompetent employees or just a F up. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens, right? But because you did that, now the general public is like, oh my God. And they're going to be very, people might even cancel Disney Plus just to try to avoid.
But it doesn't matter if you signed even up a free trial. And but then beyond that, Disney is using this, and then they're having characters make jokes about it, which, I mean, I'm torn on it. I can see where it's funny, but I also think that it's kind of in poor taste given the fact someone's dead. But then you have like Josh D'Amaro put in the statement that Disney walked it back, that they're going to go ahead and move forward or let them move forward to court. But they made sure, even when their statement came out for that they're like, they didn't admit get wrong. We're waiving our right. They won't acknowledge the fact that they shouldn't have put that in the terms of service to begin with.
We're being nice. We're being nice here and not. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he said, we believe the situation warrants a sensitive approach to expedite a resolution for the family who have experienced such a painful loss. As such, we decided to waive our right to arbitration, which implies they still had that right. They're saying that we were in the right. We're waiving that to make it more accommodating for this person, but it's our right. The thing is, I don't think that verbiage should ever have been in this terms of service. You're overstepping, and you haven't used it for other things. But now, I mean, then they wouldn't make a joke about it in the theme park. Look, I mean, I have a sense of humor, so I can see where it's funny. But I'm also like, I think it's way too soon, for one.
It's too soon.
I think, given the fact how Disney responded, I see making fun of Disney's response, but because it was associated with someone dying and everybody was outraged by how Disney behaved, I don't know if having Deadpool make a joke about it in the theme parks is the smartest thing to do. I think that it would, if it was in the film or something like that, I can see it because it was fit. But like, it's at the damn theme park.
Well, that's okay. This guy was working at Knott's Berry Farm last week and he didn't get the memo. He just came over. He was working a Halloween show.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think Disney's being incredibly stupid with this.
It's not going to bode well for them in court.
No, because here's my understanding, and I'd have to look into this a little bit more. But my understanding is that they only wanted Disney to cover like burial, funeral costs, and now Disney's turned it into potentially a multi-million-dollar loss for them, plus whatever they're going to lose from a PR standpoint with the general public, right? I mean, people were already on the fence with Disney. Your brand is damaged, especially with theme park goers, and then you turn around and pull this shit. You know, at least they're self-aware, or at least this guy is self-aware. Maybe he is going to Knott's Berry Farm and he doesn't give a shit. But yeah, I think it's they just can't win. I mean, Disney at this point just hit the fucking hit. Can I say that? Can I say that?
I don't know. You're not in the parks.
Yeah, right. Just hit the reset button on everything. Like stop the destruction of the parks. Stop the bullshit. Whoever's in your legal that's making these comments, get rid of them, and just hit the reset button. Disney's always been highly litigious, but they haven't been batshit crazy before.
But making the joke about it, I think it's just a hair too far.
Yeah.
Given the situation.
Is it in character? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, 100% in character. There's no question about that. It is in character. But we're talking about presenting to the theme park where it's for kids. And I just don't know if that was a smart move.
If you made this joke on YouTube and you were like an anti-Disney YouTuber, they'd be like, look at the Nazis and the bigots. We're going to go run to social media and cancel them.
When what was it? Murphy the Dragon. I think it's Murphy, isn't it? Murphy the Dragon from Fantasmic caught fire.
Yes.
And we were laughing about it, not because mostly because I felt bad because the dragon's awesome, but the Mickey Mouse actors, the way they acted against it was hilarious, and a guy or girl should got a raise because they were brilliant. But we were talking about it, and they're like, "Oh my god, the fire!" And people are like, "Oh my god, you're so tasteless." Those people could have been people. The audience could have been hurt, and I'm like, "Tell me you've never been to Fantasmic without telling me you've never been to Fantasmic."
Yeah, it's on an island.
Yes, you're separated by a large waterway. There was no way. It was very unlikely the people in the audience were going to be hurt.
And everybody in that show is like a trained stunt person. Yeah, it's. And they look for every reason just to be like, look, clownfish are awful. And usually they're just like,
but then this will be,
shut-ins that don't get out, that just screech at home.
So, we've been accused of it before, but I still think they sum it up. I think this is probably what happened after it got out.
Probably.
Somebody's in trouble.
Like I said, this guy's going to be working at Knott's Berry Farm next week, but he'll fit right in.
It might have been whoever wrote the script. It might not. If it's them, it is. If it's not, it's not.
Man, they took mildly offensive jokes out of the Jungle Cruise. But they're going to put Deadpool and Wolverine in the parks. Now, let's just talk about that in general, because I thought that was look, Deadpool and Wolverine, good movie, liked it. Not the greatest. I don't think it was the greatest movie ever, but it was good, and it made a lot of money, right? But I think to put Deadpool and Wolverine in the theme parks is a little weird. Especially Disney, like they're trying.
Wolverine. I know even then, yeah. But it's not like different because when they had the movies out for like the X-Men movies, they were selling the toys to kids.
Yeah, but they were PG-13 movies.
That's
this is
true.
An R-rated movie.
But I'm just saying, it's like they've been trying to sell Deadpool to kids for years, so it's nothing new.
That is actually true.
So now we're coming down to a whole, now that wasn't owned by Disney then. So you have to ask, okay, you can understand it's another company, but Disney owns it. I could
understand Universal doing it. It's just weird because Disney's very, just all the way around. They're very uneven about what is anything that's even remotely possibly offensive. We're going to take it.
We have to change the Neverland Indian scene.
Yes. So now we've got characters that aren't even in the damn movie, because we don't want people to be offended, but we're going to put Deadpool and Wolverine in the park across the street and make jokes about the Disney Plus terms of service just a couple months after this happens.
We had to take the natives out of the Jungle Cruise, replace them with chimpanzees, and then which I still think that's so funny. That's more funny than this joke. And then they turn around and go across the street and put Deadpool in the parks. It doesn't make sense.
I'm
not personally offended by Deadpool, but I can see where people would be.
I guess my thing is if Disney is trying to set the expectations that you come to our park, nothing will offend you. We're going to wrap everything in bubble wrap.
Yeah, we can't have Dr. Facilier on a ride.
We can't even have Dr. Facilier. What would have made the Tiana ride better than Splash Mountain was to have Dr. Facilier on it. Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
And have that music, you're ready, and the drop and all the friends from the other side in the tunnel and all that, like day glow light effects. That could have been amazing.
That would have been epic.
And it would have been so much better than Splash Mountain, but we couldn't even have that because Dr. Facilier from a movie it's like 15 years old is now offensive.
Right, but this is okay.
But this is okay.
That's what we're coming from.
That's what I'm
We're
saying. Just the double standard. And, I can't say anything about like them marketing R-rated characters to kids because, again, back in my day, we did like all these
all the time.
R-rated characters had toy lines and cartoon shows.
True.
RoboCop had R-rated movie, cartoon show, toys.
But the cartoon show wasn't R-rated.
No, but I actually recorded RoboCop off of Showtime on VHS. And I was watching it when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
Well, no, you could watch it, but what would happen is a couple years later, you'd watch it when they edited it for TV. And they basically, cut.
No, I watched the real deal.
No, I mean kids in general. Then they cut everything out of it, so the movie was like way shorter. And then whenever someone would swear, it'd be like some really bad voiceover.
Darn you!
Yeah.
Psh, psh, psh. Yeah, but we had RoboCop. We had Rambo. We had let's see. Oh my God, Nightmare on Elm Street. They had a Freddy Krueger doll. You could buy a talking doll.
I don't remember these because it wasn't my thing. Sorry.
I mean, there were so
I
many.
believe it was yours.
Aliens. They had alien toys. Now they have I don't think they had a cartoon show, but they had toys. They had video games. And it was a weird, because there was like no restriction on kids' entertainment. So I can totally believe
there were lots of restrictions back then on kids' entertainment, but it didn't matter if it was based on something as long as the cartoon itself wasn't.
Right. So how they would skirt it is they would just be like, oh, we'll put a cartoon show out, we'll put a video game out, we'll base it on the cartoon versions. Police Academy, for God's sake. Police Academy. Police Academy. Especially the first one was raunchy. It was basically Porky's with police officers, and they had a cartoon show and a toy line. So I totally believe it. If Deadpool and Wolverine came out in 1987, they'd do a new Deadpool cartoon.
Probably.
And
100% they would have done Deadpool Wolverine cartoon.
Absolutely.
But they would have made toys for the cartoon, not for the adult show, which is what they did. Like when they had the cartoons and the toys, a lot of them are based on the cartoon, not on the movie. But still. Anyway, I personally I was not offended that Deadpool's in the parks. I'm just like, yeah, I get it, because it doesn't bother me too much. But I thought this joke was a little bit too far, given the fact that how Disney behaved and someone's passed away, and then their behavior around it. I mean, they deserve to be made fun of 100%. But I think this was just a little bit too far for the parks, in my opinion.
Too far, Disney. I'm offended.
I'm offended.
You need to take it out now. Yeah, I'm sure people are going to complain. It's California. People are going to complain about it.
I see the humor in it completely, but I just think for putting it in a theme park theme park was a bit too much.
All right. We got to wrap it up.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.